If you're thinking about making the move to Colorado Springs this year, there's one question I get more than any other, and it's how much do I need to make to actually live there? Today, we're gonna dive into that question, not the internet version, not the guess and hope version, but the real numbers. And I'm gonna give you 3 very clear income tiers: minimum, comfortable, and thriving, so that you can tell exactly where you land based on your situation. And stick around, because at the end of the video, I'm gonna give you some hidden cost benefits that you probably didn't realize, and that'll definitely surprise you. And if this kind of no fluff breakdown actually helps you, make sure to subscribe, because this is what we do every single week. So let me give you some context. Colorado Springs is still more affordable than most Front Range cities, but that doesn't mean that it's cheap. Housing costs have certainly gone up in the last few years. Insurance costs have gone up in the last few years. And of course, as we all know and feel, groceries have gone up in the last few years. So before we talk salaries, let's talk about where the money actually goes. Housing is the biggest expense for everyone here. If you're renting in Colorado Springs in 2026, here's what you can expect to see. A 1-bedroom apartment is going to run you $1,300 to $1,600 a month. A 2-bedroom apartment is going to run you $1,600 to $2,000 a month. And a 3-bedroom townhome, rental house, or apartment is going to run you anywhere between $2,100 and $2,600 a month. Newer apartments with all the nice amenities are typically going to run on the higher end of that range. And if you're thinking about buying in 2026, right now our median household price is $490 to $510. You can expect your mortgage with taxes and insurance to be anywhere from $2,800 to $3,300-ish a month. And that's with a significant down payment. A lot of clients that I see are going to be more in that 5% range versus the 20% range. So you can expect that to push you into the mid, if not high 3s. Once housing pushes past 40%, everything starts to feel a little bit tight. So let's talk about the other costs. Utilities here are reasonable, but they add up. Most households are gonna see anywhere from $120 to $180 a month on electric and gas. Water, sewer, and trash is gonna run you $80 to $120 a month. Internet is gonna run anywhere between $70 and $100 a month. For me personally, I spend $50 to $60 a month on internet. I get just below 1 gig of service, fiber to the door, for that $50 to $60 a month. Now, let's talk about transportation. Colorado Springs is definitely a car city. Our public transit system here is not like it is in other major metropolitan areas, so you're gonna need a car. Typical monthly costs are gonna look like $400 to $650 for a car payment per month. And of course, that just depends on what kind of car you're putting down, your down payments, all that sort of stuff. So kind of run those numbers for yourself and see what that looks like. But that's what we see for a typical car payment here. Auto insurance is gonna run you anywhere from $150 to $250 per vehicle every single month. And gas and maintenance are gonna probably run in that $150 to $250 range. A 2-car household can typically see anywhere from $900 to $1,200 a month on transportation. Let's talk about groceries, because groceries are another big line item. For a single person, groceries usually run $350 to $500 a month. And for a family of 4, it's gonna be more than double that. It's more like $900 to $1,200 a month. Dining out adds up pretty fast. For a single person, you can expect anywhere from $100 to $300 a month. You know how much you dine out, so kind of run those numbers for yourself, but it's not any cheaper here than in a lot of other areas to dine out. And for a family, again, you can expect more than double that, anywhere from $300 to $600 a month, depending on how much you dine out. Now, healthcare costs can vary a lot, but diving into those numbers, with employer coverage, many people are still paying $200 to $400 a month for individual coverage, and anywhere from $500 to $900 a month for family coverage. And finally, if you need childcare, this is a wild card, and this is something I'm gonna have to consider going into this year. And I'm not really looking forward to it. Childcare is expensive these days. Here in the Colorado Springs area, you can expect to pay anywhere from $900 to $1,300 a month per child. And for a lot of families, that can truly be the make or break when you add in housing. So now that you've seen where the money goes, let's talk about the income tiers that actually support these costs. So we'll start with the minimums. And just for context here, the Colorado Springs median income in 2025 usually runs in the low to mid 80s. So for a single person, getting by is usually going to start around $55,000 to $60,000. And that's like surviving. You can cover the basics, rent, utilities, food, transportation, but your savings is going to be a little bit slower and things are going to feel tight. Now for families, anything below that 85, 86 number, things are also going to feel tight. So tier number 2 is comfortable. And this is where most people want to land. For a single person, that's going to start right around $75,000 a year. You're not living high on the hog, but you're saving money and you can actually enjoy the city. For most families, that's going to be in that 110 to 130 range. And I'd actually push that a little bit higher going into 2026. And this is going to depend heavily on the cost of housing and childcare for your family. So tier number 3 is thriving. Thriving means you have margin. You're not living opulently, but at the same time, you're saving aggressively, you're traveling, you're enjoying everyday life and not having to check your bank account every day. For a single person, that's probably going to start around the $95,000 number. And for families, it's really going to be that 150 or more number. And just from personal experience, I really think you're having to push more than 150 to get into that thriving zone. So the reality check is that a single person moving here can be in that comfortable zone or that thriving zone a lot faster than the average family can. And that's simply because of the cost of housing and childcare. You can have a little more margin here as a single person. And that's why the real question isn't just, can I afford to live in Colorado Springs? It's what kind of life do I want to live here? So there's another side, if you will, to this whole cost of living discussion that we're having today that a lot of people don't mention. And for Colorado Springs, that's the hidden cost benefits of actually moving here. So one of the biggest hidden benefits to living here is you actually live in a vacation destination. Colorado Springs specifically gets over 28 million visitors per year. People come here from all over the world to see the beautiful mountain ranges. And right out of your backyard, anywhere from 30 minutes to a few hours are world-class skiing, world-class hiking, beautiful resorts, hot springs, mountain biking, all of those benefits that you would get from living in that vacation destination, you don't actually have to pay to get there. Over the years, it's going to save you thousands in plane costs, buying an Airbnb or a hotel, all the food associated with that, all of those things. So that's number 1. So number 2 is that all of that outdoor access we just talked about actually replaces your entertainment costs to a degree. If you're moving from a major metropolitan area, you know this well. Living there, the gym memberships are more expensive, these boutique fitness classes, indoor activities, all of those things add up to really expensive nights out. Here in Colorado Springs, that's all replaced by all of that biking, hiking, mountain biking, camping, our national parks access. All of that stuff is going to replace a lot of that for you. But it's also not to say we don't have some of those opportunities. We just had the Ford Amphitheater completed with world-class shows coming in every single weekend, all throughout the summer. Denver is just an hour up the road for all of those entertainment benefits. And we've got the new Widener Field and Stadium here with more access to all of those world-class shows and our championship soccer team. And finally, number 3 is that less time in traffic equals more money in your pocket. The average commute here in Colorado Springs is way less than most cities our size. And that might not sound like a cost benefit, but it actually is. Less time in traffic means less wear and tear on your vehicle, less in maintenance costs, less in gas, less money paid for childcare extensions, and all of those things add up over the course of a year. So yeah, on paper, Colorado Springs has definitely gotten more expensive, but when you take a look at all the numbers, we actually punch way above our weight in terms of value, what you pay for what you get. Colorado Springs, honestly, is still a great place to live. And if you're serious about making the move in 2026, reach out to us directly. We're the guys who answer the phone calls, emails, and text messages, and we would love to help you and or your family make the move to Colorado Springs this year.